You both had your instructions in the dressing rooms. Don't forget what I told you. Obey my commands at all times. I want no naughties with the head. Shake hands.
God bless you both.
Good luck.
Another fascinating clash here on Friday fight night. Thriller last week with Jamie Moore and Matthew Macklin. But an intriguing one on paper too here, as the Bristol boy Lee Haskins moves up in search of the big performance he's always promised. This South African, whose height, reach and ability have given him this championship. He's emerged as a big threat. Tshifhiwa Munyai, a gamble for Haskins, a bit like Munyai took when he met Martin Power. And I suppose, Glenn, in this business, risks give you rewards.
Yes, they certainly do. It's a risky business. You've got to take them. And this is a calculated risk, but it's how will Haskins deal with the physical disadvantages. That's what he's up against with, firstly.
Yeah, it's interesting that he's kept hold of his Commonwealth 8-stone crown. He moves up 6 pounds, 8'3" super flyweight, 8'6" to bantamweight. Will he be stronger? Was he struggling at flyweight last time out?
What he will have as an advantage, you would think, Haskins, is speed, and we're seeing that already. Decent defensive skills, and then quick on the counter-attack.
Yep, he's always had fast hands, natural ability, good amateur. Been with Chris Sanagar and the team since he was 10 years of age. Munyai complaining there about a low punch. And I suppose it's how the champion deals with these different angles and problems that Haskins is going to pose.
That's correct. Haskins has a very unorthodox style, so how will Munyai cope with that? Constantly chasing, trying to pin Haskins down.
Munyai so effective in diffusing Martin Power in this very ring at the end of June. Haskins didn't look as good in his last appearance, even though he beat the South African veteran Zalili Mumbichi. Good uppercut, though, from Haskins, and a bright start, Glenn.
Yes, he started well. He looks confident. He's moving well and coming back with some decent counters. Made Munyai miss quite a bit and landed with a decent body shot there. That might be a key.
Certainly plenty of target there for Haskins to aim at. Munyai comes back, a couple of rights, one round the back of the head. But, encouraging in the first 3 minutes for Haskins.
Yeah, because you didn't keep their minds.
A very warm welcome back to the spiritual home of British boxing, the York Hall Bethnal Green. And Chris Sanagar, who's led the revival in the southwest in Bristol for the last 15 years or so. Produced champions like Ross Hale, Dean Francis, who's still going, Glenn Catley, former world champion, who's coming back. He's at ringside to cheer on his pal, the 22-year-old Lee Haskins, in the traditional Bristol boys purple. At 5'5", giving 4 inches in height away to this gangly and good operator from South Africa, Tshifhiwa Munyai. Both men unbeaten. And well, it'll be really interesting to see how it develops.
Well, Chris Sanagar reasonably happy with his man's work in the opening round. And these quick counters are giving Munyai a little bit of trouble, aren't they? They're very speedy, and he's getting the Munyai round the body.
It's the natural reflexes that Haskins has, often fights with his hands down by his waist. Munyai has got the long arms, though, and is catching some on the elbows and gloves. Good-looking uppercut there from Haskins. And that's obviously the shot that they've worked on against the taller man.
Well, he does throw that punch quite well anyway. He likes to leap in and get that uppercut off, and you know, he's getting very close with that punch. Being short, he's difficult at present for Munyai to pin down.
This was about the time in the second round when he won the vacant Commonwealth Flyweight title. Classy stoppage of Anthony Matthias from Tanzania. Burst onto the scene and certainly marked himself out as a really useful talent. Can that be nurtured, though, the talent?
Yes, of course it can. And he's still landing with decent shots. Coming back with the counters, Haskins. Munyai trying to come forward, trying to get his long shots on, but he's still missing. Whether he'll get frustrated from that, I don't know.
Yeah, Martin Power didn't have a bad first couple of rounds against Munyai, so he might just need to ease himself into it. He's certainly had plenty of notice of preparation. 9 weeks back home in Johannesburg.
Still, he's missing quite widely. That'll take a little bit out of Munyai.
Less landing in the second round.
Caught him with a body there, you stopped him in his tracks. He can't take it.
There's
there.
Robert
Come
McLeod,
on,
Munyai's trainer. Wasn't over for the power win.
Work behind the jab. Work behind
He's
the
back
jab.
for this, and he believes his fighter is 100%
Stay
better.
tight, don't stretch in and jump in, because then you're open for the
And I
counter.
suppose trainers would say that.
Well, I'm sure, you know, he's got the extra weeks to prepare. He should be in a lot better shape. But it's a very different opponent he faces here.
It's the first defence of South African Tshifhiwa Munyai's Commonwealth Bantamweight crown. Munyai in the red and white, with the Atomic Spider as a nickname. Haskins trying to open up, toe-to-toe. Not really his game, though. Swinging and missing, Haskins. Munyai trying to keep control. Do you think either man's got the edge yet?
No, not really. It's still pretty even. They're both having trouble understanding each other's style and getting their shots on. Munyai starting to up the tempo a little bit. He's looking to throw more punches. He might have better success doing that.
Yep, upping the work rate. Will Haskins be able to live with that at this weight against the naturally stronger man? He has been training with the SAS in Bristol, lifting all sorts of weights. But sometimes they say you need to grow into a division.
Yes, it's a difficult one moving up for a title shot straight away. Having to stand close in with Munyai, and Munyai getting more success now.
And you sense that Munyai, well, certainly his confidence level would have risen dramatically. Maybe he didn't believe he was good enough to win the crown in the summer, but he's back defending it, and it might just give him a new lease of life.
Adam, I think it's important for Haskins to land a big punch. He needs to let Munyai feel the power a little bit. Munyai is growing in confidence.
He's looking wild here, Lee Haskins. Right hand from Munyai. Ragged Haskins as he tries to get that uppercut in. bravely fights back, but Munyai is just getting that bit closer, and the right hand is working for the South African.
Yes, he looks poised, but Haskins comes back with a good left hook. Munyai growing in confidence, doesn't want to make a mistake and stand in front of Haskins.
Body shot there, hurt Haskins. And is this proving too big a task for Haskins, who just has some naughtiness at the bell? Well, Lee Haskins annoyed there, and he basically then had a poor round.
Right.
Yes, he did. I think there's a bit of frustration coming out of Haskins there. He took a few punches in that round. Good left hook he landed there. Bell went, and there's a little bit of a stare up. And then Haskins lunges at him.
I mean, he was disqualified 3 times in the amateurs, Lee Haskins. Maybe a bit of temper on him.
Yeah, that's silly. He doesn't need to do that, but I think that's more out of frustration. That was not a good round for Lee Haskins.
All right, okay, let's go back to boxing. Jab, move, come on. All right?
Get it together.
All right?
Back to the boxing, says Chris Sanagar. Nigel Christian, who's been doing the circuit training as well with Lee Haskins. Mickey Van just tidying things up. He won't stand for any bad behavior in there. Good and tough referee. But Haskins, Glenn, was breathing heavily. Maybe the body shots at the end of the third.
Yes, I think he got hurt with a body shot. It was starting to become a little heavy work. It's important for Haskins to use the ring, make Munyai miss, and Munyai will start to tire if he's missing an awful lot.
Trying to be positive, come forward, Lee Haskins.
Now Haskins making a target of the body, and I think that's important for Haskins. He hasn't been doing that, been looking for the head an awful lot.
A nice little right hand under the left elbow of Munyai from Haskins. Just lost his way last time against Mbichi, didn't he, Haskins? And if he keeps to the task, the tactics, he could do well here.
Yes, he could, but he's really going to have to concentrate. This is a difficult fight.
Again, annoyance. And the gum shield just loose of Tshifhiwa Munyai. We noticed that when he fought Martin Power. Likes to box sometimes with it hanging out. Maybe to aid the breathing.
Decent right hand from Munyai, and then that long, straight jab.
Good action here in the fourth. Munyai coming off better. And Haskins backed up again.
Yes, Haskins' chin coming up a little bit there.
Oh, body shot was a good one with the right fist from Munyai.
He did manage to land his own right hand, Haskins, but he's starting to take some punches now.
He's attacking the body, the South African. It's clever stuff. And will Haskins be able to deal with his own power, Munyai? 6 knockouts, but up at bantamweight as opposed to Haskins' 9 at flyweight.
He looks an intelligent fighter, Munyai, who's really upping the pace now, finding the shots to the body. Haskins needs to land with a good punch. Tries with that left hook.
Again, looking for the ribs, hunting them down, Munyai, trying to slow Haskins. Take away any advantage in speed. Another round for Munyai.
Don't get too close where you can't let your punches go, okay? Give yourself a little bit of
Robert
space where you can
McLeod
work
was
your
just
hand.
saying that.
Understand?
He hates it to the body, Haskins. They've seen the weakness.
Yes, well, I think Munyai is well aware of that because he was working very well to the body. There's the right hand just behind the elbow. And it's getting a little tough in there for Lee Haskins.
Here's the 5th round. Tshifhiwa Munyai's 57th, Lee Haskins is 71st in the professional careers that have sort of paralleled each other in many ways. Both yet to lose. Munyai has a draw, the only blip on his otherwise perfect slate. And it is looking a tall order here for Lee Haskins. He just seems to pounce, doesn't he, Munyai?
Yes, he looks able to take the shots of Haskins as well. And then he comes straight back with very sharp punches.
Hardened in the gyms of East Johannesburg. Sweltering like temperatures. 60 or 70 young fighters trying to get to the punch bags. It's really a fight for survival just to get through. And now he's got this title, he doesn't want to hand it over. Out of range, Haskins. And again.
Even on the back foot, Munyai scores well. He can attack and he can counter.
Right to the body. Haskins comes back. That's brave work from the Bristol southpaw.
He really needs to keep doing that. Every time Munyai lands, he has to come straight back with a good, powerful shot of his own.
It's these rib crunches, though. And now he targets the head, Munyai. And just like against Martin Power, he's growing round by round, and that's ominous.
And Haskins starting to let him tee off with shots. He can't do that. He's got to keep firing back. Munyai will just keep throwing if he can.
Haskins was telling us he's in the shape of his life. He may have to dig ever so deep to come through this sort of onslaught. It's all Munyai, and it's early still. Is there any way back already?
Unless he lands a big shot that really takes everything out of Munyai. He's got to just let the punches go.
Tries to back Munyai up in the South African's own corner, but every time Munyai seems to come back with a harder volley.
Showing good character. Haskins still trying to get shots off.
A terrific heart from Haskins, but he shakes his head. It's really grueling.
You're letting him beat you up, all right? You listening?
Yeah.
Come on, be a man, all right? You've got to do this, all right? Let's turn it around.
Come on.
Okay? Box, all
You're
right?
just walking.
Lead
Move
to
in
him,
closer
lead
and
to
let him
him,
go.
all right? Let's go.
Chris Sanagar, harsh words, reading the riot act. He's been in this position a few times before, the very successful Bristol trainer. But can Haskins go back to his boxing? Has he got the stamina and the strength at bantamweight against this solid champion?
Well, it's looking an uphill task. Chris Sanagar really trying to gee him up and motivate him, get something extra out of Lee Haskins. But it's difficult. And if he goes back to the boxing, he gives Munyai the room to get his shots off.
Right hand from Haskins, partially blocked by Munyai. Glenn, you've been up in weight, of course, before. How deflating is it when your punches don't have the effect and the other guy's does?
It's very, very hard, especially if you're in with a good fighter and he's coming back and his shots are starting to hurt. It really takes all the fight out of you. And it looks as if that's what's starting to happen with Haskins.
Spirit and courage, though, from Lee Haskins. A bit more marked up now, especially underneath the right eye. And Munyai just senses the moment, and Haskins is in trouble here in the 6th round. Right hand, big shot.
You just sensed the knees were just starting to dip a little bit.
Mickey Van, very close to the action. Chris Sanagar looks really worried, and he's talking to Nigel Christian about the possibility of pulling him out in the red corner. Nothing has gone right for Lee Haskins. He's almost doubled over with these shots.
Yes, it looks too tall an order for Lee Haskins.
Over a minute left in the 6th round. Oh, sinks in right to the body. Haskins back on his heels, back on the ropes. Is there anything more to give? Oh, so painful, Glenn.
All the fight is just seeping out of Lee Haskins. Doesn't seem to have much left. Can't do anything but try and defend against these punches. He's got to try and throw something back.
Maybe just one lucky shot, wild swing from Haskins. But back to the body goes Munyai, now to the head. Mickey Van again looks on. 20 seconds left in the 6th round.
Munyai clinical with those shots.
Mickey Van says no more. It's a 6th round stoppage defeat. Lee Haskins loses for the first time, and this classy South African Tshifhiwa Munyai retains his Commonwealth Bantamweight crown. First, Martin Power was stopped, lost his unbeaten record. The same thing has happened to Bristol's Lee Haskins, and really it was Munyai from the opening bell, Glenn.
Yes, it really was. He just didn't have it, Haskins. The physical disadvantages just didn't work for him. He couldn't get the shots on, didn't seem to have the power to hurt Munyai. But Munyai, don't take anything away from him, boxed very well, very clinical, good sharp punches, and never let Haskins really into the fight.
I saw Chris Sanagar just whispering to his assistant Nigel Christian about possibly pulling Haskins out. Do you think Mickey Van made exactly the right split decision, even with a few seconds left in the round?
Yes, it was a good decision. He gave Haskins the benefit of the doubt. He let him stand in there because he was taking shots, but he was holding his hands up, and there he started to fight back a little bit, Haskins. So he's just given the benefit of the doubt there.
Ground him down, though, in this round.
Yes, good shots to body and to head. He never really let up, did he? He just kept the punches coming in. Good, sharp shots, and there was nowhere for Lee Haskins to hide, really. And he didn't have the strength to get the punches off, doubling it up, body and head. Haskins can't do anything but cover up. And there, a big shot. He makes his mind up, and a good time to go in.
Mickey Van, excellent referee. Devastating defeat for Lee Haskins. They took the gamble, it backfired, and Tshifhiwa Munyai should be credited. Good fighter, and it's a pleasure to have him on our shores.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 2 minutes and 53 seconds of round 6, the referee, Mr. Mickey Van, has stopped the contest in Lee Haskins' own safety, leaving the winner and still bantamweight champion of the Commonwealth, South Africa's Tshifhiwa Munyai. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciations to a fine opponent, Lee Haskins.
Remains undefeated. Tshifhiwa Munyai, the 21-year-old Lee Haskins, back to the drawing board.
Bantamweight champion of the Commonwealth, Tshifhiwa Munyai.
Applause from this very knowledgeable York Hall crowd. Good to see. Decent performance from this champion.